Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, happy to be back with you here again, and we've made it through. We made it through that weirdness in the Champions League, and I'll show you exactly what happened here. So, here's the OFC Champions League. Here are the standings. We managed to draw 2 matches, lost 1, and ended up in 3rd place, which is kind of a good thing because it means we don't have to deal with the registration problems ever again. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. If you didn't see the last video, you can go back and watch this. The problem that we had was right here, where there was absolutely no selection for the Oceania Champions League, which didn't mean that I would play just with grayed out players. No, it meant that we couldn't play the match at all. And so when you run into that sort of circumstance, usually the best thing to do is to go and holiday and move over to the next step and just sort of forget about it. Overall, I mean, it wasn't great. We lost the first match, as you saw it with the earlier video today, 3-1. Maile did score, which is good. He also scored in our second match at the very, very end, which was a 2-2 draw against Lotohapai. And then against Titikavika, we drew again 1-1. So not too bad. 2 goals here for Chris Faumana, who is probably the best striker on our team, probably the best player on our team overall, I would say as well. And makes me feel pretty good about some of these players that we've been able to pick up. It's always sad to lose a match, but we've lost matches before in the past, and having these 2 draws makes me think that this team at least potentially could move up if we really wanted to, and if we wanted to hang out here for much longer. So there you have it. As you can see, sort of the way to get through this is to not be scared of holidaying and sort of pushing your way through problems that come up. The next goal that I have is probably to take us and push us up just through the start of the season. So what I may end up doing is I may end up fiddling around a little bit in the Football Manager preferences to try to allow the game to automatically continue, so I can stop clicking on these stupid things and looking at things I don't care about. At least for this part of the season, it would be kind of good to do that. When we look into the schedule, I believe it'll be in May, I think it is. Let's take a look here at the competitions and see. The rules are that the transfer window will open up again in late May. So we'll do whatever we can to get from early March to late May as quickly as possible, hopefully to avoid having me sit here clicking this button for 4 hours straight. And then after that, we'll sort of see where we're at going forward. That does mean, unfortunately, that our first Champions League experience will include, as you saw here, no matches being broadcast because it was completely impossible. However, despite that fact, I don't think that we had much of a chance of winning anyway. I'm happy with the draws. I think that we can move forward with this. I think that we can go on and go up to better things in this save. And as I've hinted at before, the time is just about ripe for us to potentially think about leaving American Samoa and trying to find greener pastures where maybe we have a professional team that actually plays a full season instead of a whole bunch of games squeezed into 3 months. As I said before, I will say this again, if you find yourself playing in a league like American Samoa, you're going to learn pretty quickly that it becomes really, really draining this off season. It doesn't matter which of the sort of island leagues you play with. If you're playing on an island league that has a huge gap in between, like 2 months or maybe 3 months of matches and then the huge off season, you'll find that it becomes extraordinarily tedious because there's not a lot to do. I mean, yeah, you do want to make sure that you get like your coaching badge or whatever, but I mean, that doesn't take any actual effort on your part. It becomes really, really a pain. Fortunately for us, I think we can go ahead and sort of push our way through, probably go up and hit every one of the squad meetings or something like that will end up stopping us that we actually have to respond to and have to make a decision about. Now, the plan is to have the game continue automatically and sort of play it in the background up until the transfer window starts, at which point we'll start paying attention. Having said that, I don't think that there are a whole ton of transfers that we're going to make right before the season. I think that the team that we put together is pretty good. They just need to have a little bit more experience actually playing as a cohesive squad. And I clicked on home, so we can't see this right now because of how slow the game is being. But as I think I showed you earlier, maybe it was yesterday, there's not exactly a whole lot of friendlies that we can schedule at this point in time in the season because everybody else is on leave. What I wanted to show you here was over here in my profile. Look at my profile and take a look at philosophy. I don't know why this is in philosophy. You can see that my reputation is still at only 5%. We have good media handling, which is a good thing. But yeah, there's no real reputation here for me, which is kind of a problem in moving forward. But as soon as we get more of these licenses, I think that we will probably do a good job at getting that reputation up a little bit more and making it a little bit easier for us to move on. So, and look, I'm only 20 years old in game. How young I am. Can't you see my youth? That's the nice thing about that, right? As long as we stay young and have a lot of potential ahead of us, I think that the chances of us moving on to something better are actually pretty high. I'll show you again the problem with the friendlies. We could choose any day you want, and no matter what we look at, oh, look, we could actually schedule some friendlies coming up there. I don't know. See, it's not really until it looks like the end of March that we can start really scheduling some friendlies. So maybe we will have a couple of things scheduled so that we can get together and play and get these guys some experience playing by themselves. That might not be a bad idea. So I'll go set all this up and we'll make it happen. And I will talk with you tomorrow, hopefully with a game for a change. Imagine that. Goodbye.